So sometimes life can be a bit confusing because we know something to be true or that we think is true, and then something comes along that pokes a hole in our theory, kind of like stumbling into a plot hole or a booby trap. And then suddenly we may feel confused or conflicted, or it may even cause us to question everything else that we knew or that we thought to be true. But I thought about it this way. So let's take one subject, like George Washington, let's just say. And there's countless books that are written about George Washington by historians and people that claim to be experts in the field. And at the same time, all of these books, they're going to be slightly different and sometimes radically different from each other. And if you read every single one of these books, then undeniably at some point you're going to find a contradiction. And the reason is because each of these authors is writing the book from their perspective or their viewpoint. And so therefore, this leads us to the inevitable conclusion that there is no fundamental truth, that it's all being framed by our perspective. And then as we bump into other perspectives, then sometimes, again, what we thought to be true can be altered. And so, but the one thing that we can always count on, to think of it as the home base that you can always return to, is that I am awareness. Because remember that I am is beyond labels, it's beyond judgment, and it exists before you formed any meanings or judgments about anything. It exists before any of this supposed history. And so this is something that you can always return to. And the litmus test that you can use for whether or not it's true is the fact that it never changes. It never changes, and therefore that makes it true. And everything else is just the changing forms. And just like if you look at the clouds in the sky, they're always changing, right? And so it's wonderful that we have these two things. We have the one thing that never changes, that we can always turn to, especially if we're feeling confused or we're feeling a bit like we're in the middle of chaos. And then we have the changing forms that we can love and appreciate for their changing nature and for their dynamic nature.